Good morning. This is Miss Maggie T with Lush Exchange. And if you're new to the channel, I want you to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss another post from me. But definitely want to go ahead and get into what we're talking about today. And that is loyalty. And not loyalty to other people, but I'm talking about loyalty to yourself. Sometimes we get caught up in the hustle and bustle of pleasing others and doing for others. We forget about putting us first. So we're going to go ahead and leave you with this quote. Stay true to yourself because there are very few people who will always be true to you. Think about that. How many people have you been able to count on who have let you down endless times? Be loyal to you. Some people just don't know how to do that, though. What does that even mean? I'm going to talk about the ways to being loyal to yourself and why it's so important, so you can kind of get a better understanding of what it is. When I was younger, I was always told, whatever you do in life, always remember to be loyal to yourself. Now, back then, I couldn't understand the real meaning of those words because I was, young and innocent and just didn't understand how the world we live in operates. But now, I can say for sure that self-loyalty is one of the most fundamental rules everyone should live by. And what does being loyal to yourself mean? So, to be loyal to yourself basically means to be who you are, to listen to your intuition, and to be in touch with your true self. How many people ignores that inner thing? Something telling you that it's not right, but you ignore it. You have to trust in yourself too. Definitely have to. And it means being an active participant in your own life instead of seeking approval from others or doing things just because someone has told you to do it. We can't live for other people. Being loyal means not only taking care of others and meeting their needs, but meeting your own needs as well. There's nothing wrong with it. You can be loyal to others, but always think about you as well. Sadly, hectic lifestyles and the modern world we live in often force us to forget that and to think that being loyal to yourself is an act of selfishness. It's definitely not. And I want to give you some tips on why that's not the case. How to be loyal to yourself. And some people need this reminder because maybe you have been doing it, you just didn't know that you was doing it, or you was made to feel guilty about it. Remind yourself of what you want and go get it. Remember all those New Year's resolutions you were so excited about, things that you wanted to start. Perhaps you promised yourself that you'll start going to the gym, find a new job, stop smoking, work on improving your relationships, and etc. Sounds similar? Of course, they don't necessarily need to be New Year's resolutions, but something if you've always wanted to do yet for some reason you haven't. Perhaps stress accumulation has taken its toll, or you just keep making excuses so you feel less guilty about not doing anything regarding your resolutions. Whatever the reason may be, if you want to be loyal to yourself, you need to remind yourself of what you want and start working on making it a reality ASAP. If your wish is to go on a trip with your significant other, start planning it right now. If your wish is to be more physically active, Go for a run right now and create a gym schedule for the next week, month. But you got to start it. The most important thing is to motivate yourself and remind yourself of all your decisions and goals that you put on hold. Remember, you can do anything you set your mind to, only if you want to, though. You got to get up and do it. Stop making excuses. You got to stop it. Because nobody else going to do it for you. Stand for what you believe in. Oh, that's a big one. When you're surrounded by millions of other people, your family, friends, colleagues, of course, the media is pretty much a big influencer. They all shape our opinions, especially the media, and hold different perspectives. And there's nothing wrong with that, because if we all had one mindset, we wouldn't be able to learn new things from other people. So being a good listener is a good thing because it teaches us new ideas, whether they are positive or negative. But neglecting your own beliefs because of others is something you should never do. You can respect other people's ideas and opinions, but always make sure to stand for what you truly believe in. And don't be ashamed of it. And you should implement this rule in every aspect of your life, be it in your relationships, work ethics, and religion. From the moment you get up till the end of the day, you have to make plenty of decisions throughout the day. And what matters is that you know you did the right thing. That is why it's important to stand for what you believe in and trust your gut. When things go south, it's easier to blame yourself for something you did wrong than for listening to others. Learning from your own mistakes means evolving, so you should never be afraid of standing up for yourself and what you believe in. Take time to reconnect with yourself. Chores, jobs, and other daily tasks often get us into a rut, and we start feeling as if we're stuck in a real-life Groundhog Day movie. Every new day becomes a reiteration of the one before, just kind of routine, pretty much. Because of this, we start losing touch with ourselves and our self-esteem suffers. We begin to neglect our needs for the sake of accomplishing other tasks on a daily basis. Being loyal to yourself means taking time to reconnect with yourself, with your likes and dislikes, things you're good at, and your dreams and desires. Making yourself a priority and going back to your roots is not something you should be ashamed of doing. When you're connected with yourself, your confidence increases. And trust me, there's no better mood lifter than knowing you're respecting and loving yourself in spite of all this negativity prevailing in the world. There's plenty of it. Be honest with yourself. We have to be. Lying, infidelity, violence, and other modern life vices are significantly depriving us from reaching our full potential. But being loyal to yourself also means being honest with yourself about everything, including the negative things. Acknowledge your imperfections, quirks, flaws, and bad habits. Don't try to hide your imperfections on social media. Don't try to convince yourself that your bad habit is something you should be working on. Self-improvement, patience, and kindness are character traits you should focus on. But you should also keep in mind that you don't need to be perfect. Embrace your imperfections that cannot be changed and work on things that can be improved. Don't make excuses for your bad behavior or try to run away from your problems. If you want to be honest with yourself, then you will have to see things as they are at the moment. Face them and start working on improving them. It's the only way to ultimate happiness. Embrace your own feelings. Instead of prioritizing only other people's feelings, honor your own as well. We forget about us. Pay attention to how you're feeling when someone disappoints you or something bad happens. Don't try to suppress your emotions when you're feeling down just because you're afraid of being judged by others. Remember that you're only human and you're not expected to be happy 24/7. You have the right to have a bad day, to feel betrayed, disappointed, and broken. Embrace all those feelings, not only the positive ones, because if you don't, then you're not being loyal to yourself. When you're focused on your own feelings, you understand yourself better and your relationships with others improve as well. Remember that you don't need to be perfect in order to experience unconditional love. You don't need to change yourself completely and suppress your thoughts and emotions in order to be seen and praised by other people. You are you, and there is no other you in the world. So embrace your uniqueness, feelings, and opinions. Learn from your mistakes and forgive yourself. And I preach this often. Have you ever blamed yourself for something that happened in the past? I bet you did. Like the rest of the world. You blame yourself for the choices you made, things you did or said, and similar. But guess what? You cannot change it. And if something cannot be changed, there is no point in beating yourself up about it. Instead of dwelling in the past and blaming yourself for certain outcomes, focus on learning from your mistakes and forgiving yourself. You will never be able to be totally free if you don't forgive yourself. The truth is, we'll make thousands of mistakes during our lives. Well, what matters is that we learn something from them so that we don't repeat them again. If you're able to do this, there's nothing you should worry about. Being loyal to yourself isn't about living a perfect life and avoiding mistakes. But often, it's about forgiving yourself and turning them into valuable life lessons. There are millions of ways in which every single human being is sabotaging his or her own loyalty to a certain degree and often not even aware of it. We surround ourselves with toxic people, absorb their negativity, and dance to their tunes. We spend time with people who are bad for us, who are critical and oozing with negative energy, yet we keep hanging out with them because we're afraid of being alone or for some other reason. We sabotage our own loyalty when we're afraid to say no to certain things we're not okay with, or when we are blindly following trends instead of creating our own. We deprive ourselves of self-loyalty when we're trying to be something we're not because we're afraid that others won't like our true selves. Or when we say to ourselves, I wish I had listened to myself. When we deliberately ignore our intuition, we become slaves to other people and are no longer loyal to ourselves. We sabotage our own loyalty in so many ways that if I decided to write only about it, this thing will turn into a whole freaking novel. We forget that the key to true happiness lies in yourself. You have to be. You have to be true to you, because nobody else will be. It could be some people, but you will be your biggest supporter at the end of the day. If you can remember that, you don't have to worry about who's loyal to you or not, because you got yourself. But on that note, people, that's all I got for you guys. Let me know how you feel about this message, and I do hope this message has met you well. Please put you first. That's all I can ever ask of you. Don't get caught up in other people's business. Be in your own. All right, guys. Until the next time, this is Miss Maggie T with Lush Exchange. This was our daily motivation for the day. All right. And until the next time, you guys, I'm out. Have a good morning. Peace.